We're driving our little home on wheels along the Great Alpine Road.
It's lovely. It's so tranquil out here.
And although this road can be finished in about 5 hours, we're spreading this journey over 5 days, with our big goal to camp completely off-grid the entire time. Our 300-kilometer route started in Barnsdale, Victoria.
He's got watermelon.
And in just a few days' time, we'll end in Wangaratta. We have been driving north about an hour a day, soaking in all this road has to offer, including our attempt to visit 10 lookouts.
This is the first one ticked off the list.
It's a work in progress. The trip has hit some low moments.
Our tripod broke on day one.
Vibes are way down this morning. This just set us back months.
It happened again. Spider, a huntsman, a f***ing big one. It's on the inside of our door.
But we're definitely finding our groove. So far, our days have looked like getting up early, taking you on a campsite tour, hitting the road to explore some new areas, squeezing in a river dip if we can, and then wrapping up our day at a new campsite by the fire with some s'mores in hand, ready to do it all over again. Today is day 3, which means we are quickly approaching the halfway point of this trip. But I've got to say, after yesterday's incident, I think it can only get better from here.
Welcome to the Great Alpine Road!
We've just arrived at our campsite for the night. We've just had one of the most annoying days on the road of this week.
Yeah.
And we pulled through, but it's one of those days where you just get to camp and you're just like over it. You're just ready to just wind down, drink in hand, and just stare at the fire for a few hours before you go to bed. So we're gonna do that and see you in the morning. The stillness of the morning will forever be one of my favorite parts of van life, but this morning just feels extra special. Good morning! We are about to hit the road. We slept really good last night, surprisingly, because we both thought that we were just going to be up, just worrying about another creepy crawling intruder in the van. But it actually wasn't that bad. This place is just so quiet. We had it all to ourselves. Like, there's a car here now, but we had it all to ourselves. We just took up this little back corner. We could easily walk over and just enjoy the lookout, so it was just really nice. We heard a koala last night in the tree, but we can't find it. I was really hoping I was going to see it in the morning, but they actually make really scary noises. Fun fact. Our plan for today is to continue up the Great Alpine Road. I think we're heading towards Bright and Harrietville. And I feel like this half of the Great Alpine Road, there's a lot more fun things to do. So I'm really excited to just see what we get up to today. Yesterday the vibes were down and we really were like, do we even want to finish this road trip? We're just so shaken up, and I know that that sounds so silly to some people. We're just being real. We're just being real and honest. Like, it really shook us up and we were really like not feeling it anymore. We've had comments on previous videos just talking about how dramatic we are and how we need humanity training and just all this nonsense, and like, if you can't relate, you can't relate. That's cool, but we're just being real, okay? We're not going to pretend that everything's perfect and that we're happy all the time, because that's just not reality. When there's no cars passing and you just hear the nature, the birds, and it's just so peaceful. It's a beautiful morning and we're here to make the most of today. We've had a forecast for rain, so let's hope that it's not too much rain. I don't mind a little bit of rain. We can still explore and have fun in the rain, but let's just hope it's not too much. But before we hit the road, I think it's time for our campsite tour.
This campsite is a bit of a cheeky one. It might look like a car park. That's because it is. This is essentially just the lookout known as Kosciusko Lookout. Don't get it confused with Mount Kosciusko Lookout. That's in a completely different state. But this car park during the summer and springtime is open for RVs to come and stay in. Now that's according to Google. Of course someone's coming right now. Now that's according to Google, but on the signs it doesn't actually have any seasonal codes on it. So maybe you can stay here all year, I'm not sure. If you are a bit iffy over the winter months, just check with the local councils in the area. Because this is just a 24-hour RV rest stop, there are no facilities here. There's no toilet, there's no water, there's no power, it's just a car park. But we spent the entire night here, and it might have been one of the most pleasant nights that we've ever had. It's very clean, it's very spacious, there was plenty of room for us to set up our stuff, and it was extremely flat. It was such a nice night. Also, because we are at a lookout, you have this amazing view which constantly changes. As the sun was setting, all the hills were set up as red, then it was just the twilight of the town below, it was the only sort of lights in the valley, and this morning it was like a sea of clouds below us. If you were out there exploring the Great Alpine Road and you're taking it nice and slow and you start in Barnsdale, this would be the spot that I would come and stay for the first night. It was lovely. Up here at the park, it's really fun. They actually show you how this entire mountain range came together that you can go out and see. It says that it happened over 500 million years ago, back when there was a supercontinent down in the south of the planet. I think this must have been like, there was Pangea, and then they split into two continents. One down in the south, it was joined to Antarctica, India, South America, Africa, New Zealand. It was called, get this, Gondwana. Who named it that? There weren't people running around back then. But there you go. And it shows how they were all squished together and it formed this awesome mountain range. It's just great to see the progression of it, because all you have to do is stand to the right and you can see this amazing range sweeping as far as the horizon goes. So the formation and everything that you can see out there started to form 500 million years ago, but what you can actually see now started 10,000 years ago. Long bloody time, mate. Anyway, we are back chasing lookouts. Let's hit the road. What I like about the Great Alpine Road compared to the Great Ocean Road, there is not nearly as much traffic. The Great Ocean Road is always bumper to bumper.
Yeah.
It's always full.
Even in the middle of the week.
Even in the middle of the week, it's always busy. We've done the Great Ocean Road maybe 3-4 times, and it's always bumper to bumper. This is like, there's cars passing us, but there's constant stretches where we don't see another soul.
That's so true. Like, the Great Ocean Road can feel so touristy because it's just camper van, tour buses, like back-to-back traffic, and especially when you hit those like really dense beach suburbs, it's just packed. So I didn't even like think of that. But I'm sure that this road gets like that in the winter.
Absolutely. Middle of winter in July, this would be like the Great Ocean Road.
Yeah. I think autumn's a really good time to do the Great Alpine Road. Like, the trees, the foliage, the colors, the lack of tourists. That's my vibe. Alright, before we get exploring today, we have to empty this toilet. I'm telling you, those pies, they didn't sit well with me. Why does that not look cooked? It's just a bit pink in there. Listen, I tried to get around the Australian culture, but why do they have to make it so hard?
Now I'll show you the entire process of emptying out our very full toilet. I'm kidding, you don't need to see this. Go. Dinner Plain is some little ski resort town. It's awesome for the winter time, but they're all set up as little snow lodges, and in front of every single snow lodge is like a giant mailbox that can clearly store things. Do you guys know what these are for? We're not big skiers. If you know what they're for, please let us know down in the comments.
Is it for firewood? Is it for snow gear? What? I don't know. They all have them though. I don't want to go skiing, but I'll hit up this day spa.
So we're doing the Carmichael Falls Waterfall walk It is a gorgeous walk through lots of old forest that has like a real dried out look. It's really nice and almost eerie. But having said that, this walk is rather steep and incredibly uneven. There's a lot of built-in makeshift sort of stairs. Plus, all of Dinner Plain does seem to be a very outdoorsy, go and explore nature sort of a setup. There is no car park to get to this walk, and much of Dinner Plain and the things that surround it seem like that. There's a lot of parking in the center of town, and then everything sort of spans off from there in walks. Apparently this walk is 2 kilometers, but it might be a 15-minute walk from the car park, 20-minute walk from the car park, just to start the actual walk itself.
Let's see if it's worth it.
So far, gorgeous.
But I don't think we're gonna be saying that on the walk back up. It's gonna be very steep.
Very steep.
Come on, Apple, we're almost there. You're doing a great job. Wow, look at that. Just drops off. Careful. He's walking backwards on a cliff with a camera in one hand. Wow.
Carmichael Falls. It's not the most impressive waterfall that we've ever seen, but the walk is 100% worth it. The landscape and the scenery that you're walking through is eerie. The forest feels like dead almost. It's really something special. It's a very different sort of walk. However, it is a little bit challenging. It's very rocky, very steep inclines. You definitely want to be a bit warmed up when you come to do this walk. It was enough to warrant a snack. That's what we're going to do right now. Right, Scubbers and Dinner Plain. It's a little bit of a weird one. According to Google and according to Wikicamps Australia, RVs can stay here overnight. But when you get here, there is a lot of no parking, no standing, especially in the big car park right by the toilet block and where the RVs dump out. It says no standing between 3 a.m. and 7 a.m. all times. And then on the left-hand side of Scubbers End, when you come down to where the RV toilet dump is, all of it says permit zone. But there's a little section just around the corner of the ramp, around the bottom of the ramp, but it's only a permit zone between June and September. After that, there doesn't appear to be any parking restrictions whatsoever. So I would guess that if Google and Wikicamps is right and RVs can stay here overnight for 36 hours, a lot like the Kosciusko Lookout, that is the spot to do it. When it's not peak season, you can go to that permit zone where it's only a permit zone between July and September, and you can stay there, and it is relatively flat ground there. It's quite good. You can stay here at Dinner's Plain overnight in an RV if you just want to stop by, which is great, as long as it's not peak season. I saw a sign for beer, I had to make a detour.
What a view. We are back in the van. That was a little spontaneous detour off at the General at the top of Mount Autumn, and it is a must visit. It's technically not a lookout, but I'm adding it to our lookout list because the views were some of the best we've seen on the trip so far. Obsessed. I wanted to stay there. I wanted to move in. Doug had to drag me away. Okay, but now we are off to the next lookout. We're at the next lookout called The Cross.
DJ Adventure family, we have made it. This is the highest point of the Great Alpine Road. It is the Cross Lookout. It is 1,845 meters above sea level. It's bloody cold up here.
It is really cold. It's just started snowing. We're the only ones here.
It's just started snowing.
It's just started raining. It's a bit chilly up here, but there's no flies. It's really cool to see all these old photos.
Single lane traffic, early snow crossing in 1928. People just taking their little cars up across the Great Alpine Road. I remember back when we were at the Oriental Claims, they were talking about people were using the Alpine Road all the way back in the 1850s, back when it was just a dirt track for horse and cart. And it's really evolved over the years. And to see these old photos along the way, what a journey this has been.
This van just pulled up and it looks amazing. What a rig. If you ever wonder what Mount Awesome looks like when it's not snowing,
Just ski lifts everywhere. You guys are just jumping in and just joining us on this episode. This entire road trip, we're actually trying to push our off-grid limits to the max. We can usually go for about 3 days because of the type of power setup that we have. We charge our batteries while we're driving. This is our 4th day now, and it also happens to be our shortest driving day. We're trying to make this road trip go for 5 days. So we are really pushing ourselves right to our limits.
yeah. And we only have a single Blue Eddy power system. We want to upgrade to another one down the line, but we're working with what we have. And it's really cool though, seeing that, like, if we really wanted to, I think we could do like a full week off grid.
Yeah.
We just have to be really smart about how we're using our time. And even while we're here at the Lookout, we've left the car on running because it's charging the battery. Yeah. So yeah, it's just little things like that that help us stretch how long we can stay off grid and not have to go to a caravan park and pay. Although we are getting a little smelly and the wet wipe showers aren't really... They're not really doing it, so I'm excited to take a shower when we get home, but, you know, we're getting by.
To go 4 days... Today, Junior, to go 4 days off one Blue Eddy power bank, the Blue Eddies are great.
Yeah, we love it.
The Blue Eddies are great. It's not perfect for going full-time off-grid, but it's getting it done.
This one isn't.
It's getting it done.
They have bigger ones.
Oh, yeah, for
but
sure.
Yeah, so this one... It will get you 3 days, like a long weekend, easy.
Yep.
Depending on how you're using it. Like, we use it to power our fridge. So, yeah. So far, the challenge is still going. We don't have to go to a caravan park. We'll see how tomorrow goes.
If we don't record anything, we ran out of battery.
Did we mention that we're scared of heights? It's high up here. We are high up on the Alpine Road. It's so high up, man. It feels, the drive is a bit intimidating if you're scared of heights, but it's friggin' gorgeous.
We're at Danning's Lookout, 100 meters below the last one. Doesn't feel like it. Doesn't feel like we've dropped it all. And again, you've got the story of the Alpine ranges, except now you've got a map showing you the different peaks from where you're standing, whereas at Kosciusko it was a map of the peaks from where Kosciusko was.
Stop moving. That's so nerve-wracking.
I know.
Why are you doing this?
It's so nerve-wracking. You gotta try it.
Okay. Why are you doing this?
I don't know, it's just wild.
The adrenaline.
Isn't it wild?
All right, if he pushes me down this mountain, I didn't even get to eat my last taco. Stay back there, okay?
I'm gonna stay back here.
All the trust in him. I have all the trust.
I'm back here.
You stay over there.
Alright. Yeah, you plant your feet on the...
I can do it.
Yeah. That's it. Now look straight out and open your arms up wide.
My stomach, I'm gonna throw up.
Oh no, it's wild. Go on. Yeah, girl, what a shot.
Sorry, Mom. It's crazy up here. We've just arrived in Harrietville, Victoria, and we are at this place called Jupe's Jetty. It's giving like a 90s summer camp vibe for me. What's that? There was this camping show in the 90s that we used to watch. What's it called? I can't remember what it's called, but this is just reminding me of it so much.
The water is a deep green and it is a swimming hole. It's lovely. It's so tranquil out here.
And there's just pine trees everywhere. It's just giving me like camp vibes, just like summer camp vibes.
Yeah.
It's so cute and like quaint.
Amazing.
I think that there's a swing, a rope swing all the way on the other side where you can...
Wow, you're nailing this. Such a good shot. Put your leg over.
Oh, I did it.
You did it.
Hold on, hold on. I'm fine. It's just started to rain, which has made this place feel extra moody. It's so cute. I wish that we could camp here.
But we can't. There's no camping here at Jupe's Jetty. So we're going to hit the road for a little bit longer, not too much longer, and set up camp. If you want to see camp tonight, you're going to have to hit that subscribe button so you get notified, because it is going to be in next week's episode.
Stick around for next week for a jam-packed, water-filled day of exploring the Great Alpine Road as we head to our next campsite and soak up the last 2 nights of this trip. Jump in the river. A huge rain cloud has just hit right above us.
We are wrapping up for today.
Thank you so much for watching. We've had so much fun exploring the Great Alpine Road so far. We're going to do a recap, and we're also going to share our thoughts on the Great Alpine Road versus the Great Ocean Road, because I feel like they get brought up a lot. I've seen a lot of things comparing the two, and we've been talking about it a lot on this trip just because I just feel like they're 2 iconic things in Victoria. It's hard not to compare it to it. So yeah, we're excited to bring that video to you. With that, thank you so much for watching. Consider subscribing, and we will see you hopefully in the next video.
Bye.